OC. That is Oklahoma Christian Esports with G-Man, Chili, and Chicken. It sounds like a fun Fiesta Friday of food, and I am hungry being reminded of these three players. And in this Champions Division, I mean, it's going to be a heck of a matchup because they're going up against the Cougars over there in Columbiaville with Cosmic Flippy, Samaba. Is that spelled wrong? I don't know.
It's Samba. Yes.
I was like,
close enough.
I was like, I swore that players. I've seen them before, and G-Ski's there too. Cool.
Yep, exactly. Gusky to round out the roster. Yeah, Samba is the name here. We just pivoted to this match last second, so mind the producers who are doing an awesome job behind the scene. So let's get to it. Game one about to head underway. Cosmic Flippy, I mean, talking about this kid, he's been around since the beginning of time. Tracked him through, stay plugged in, and is a sophomore this year, I believe. Is constantly doing big things with this team. Was originally on that main roster, so he's got live experience, right? He's got the world's experience, which is something that not all the players can say they have. But at this level, all of these players have that, pro-am level where you're just on the bubble scene experience. So both of these teams are going to come out with a sense of gameplay. It's about to be a high-paced and high-energy game once we hit the pit.
I'm kind of looking at Chicken on the side of OC Eagles to be able to bring us into the competitive sphere to maybe be able to face off against the Cougars. And honestly, Cosmic Flippy's been around for so long, I swore they were as old as me, just by the sake of being on this roster. But in blue is going to be your Columbia College Cougars, and in orange will be your OC Eagles, and nearly in the back of the net as the Cougars were starting on the attack.
Base is already up there as Cosmic Flippy left a loose one, and Gusky has to clean it off the back wall and does a great job of just that. It'll fall back to the OC Eagles, led by G-Man, looking for that pass out in front for Chili, but it was Cosmic Flippy who found the read there and got the touch away, so no real chance will develop here for the OC Eagles. As this one will bounce high. Samba on it. G-Man left it. This one above the net. Gusky's got to try eventually go and challenge. It does just enough to swipe it away here at midfield. Now Cosmic Flippy had to try and get around it. Oh no, a blunder for Columbia College Silver. And OC Eagles on top early.
You know what? Sometimes your greatest foe becomes your greatest ally, and then the opposite is very much true. When it goes in the Cougars' net, Eagles, they're left chasing as Cosmic Flippy was just trying to be able to challenge the ball straight at the rip, but that one is going to be a rip for them as they get back to that, I guess, off the respawn, and then immediately trying to threaten. Cougars have really been punching at the stripe line there, Bear, but they've not been able to punch their way completely through.
Yeah, and they've obviously got incredible mentors. Like we know, Columbia College has a couple of stacked teams overall. So Cosmic Flippy was on that original main roster. Of course, they have Cryptic and Cam, which is his go-to teammates back in the day. Excelst has been doing a great job to step in for Columbia College on that front. But, I mean, they're just great mentors and really strengthening every single player on this roster. But right now, they need a little bit of help. As that is a crafty move from Chili with the mechanics to backflip into that one. Basically call it a half whip, if you will, from a flick standpoint. But still nothing doing here as we settle back down. It goes back down the pitch. Settling might be a stretch because this has been end-to-end since the get-go.
Yeah, that wasn't even just like a half flip with some, hey, let me try this. That was confident. That was wonderful. And they're going to be trying that a lot more often to get crafty around the Cougars to keep them supplanted with their backs to the wall and the Eagles continuously flying. I mean, immediately already in the midfield, thinking about just faking them out, keeps them stuck on the grass. Cosmic Flippy had no idea when to challenge, and because they stalled out there, Chicken put him away.
That numbers game on the transition, when you have that 2-on-1, it allows you to be creative. And at this level, you're going to find ways around the defense. Cosmic Flippy, yes, they made him look silly on that play, but when you're in that 1v2 situation, especially when Chicken was playing that as slowly as he was, and he's looking to get back to work here too. A couple of bumps out in front, and Samba will be challenged though. This will play it high for Cosmic Flippy, who's got that car control, flip reset, but it'll allow Gusky to jump onto it at the very least, and they get it back out.
This is looking really good, at least here in game number one, which has always seemed to be the misnomer for so many different matches. So don't just suddenly think that the Cougars are washed. There's a lot of Rocket League left to be played, especially in this best of five. Samba looking for the put away, and that's going to be the nice little bit of finesse that will finally get them on the board. And the Eagles, the reason they found so much early success here in the game is because of the challenge game, pushing the Cougars back and being very feisty about it. This one finally winning their own challenge in the corner, and that gets them to be able to cut this lead in half.
Well, feisty is a great word for Cosmic Flippy. I don't know if you've seen any of the content that he's put out on the collegiate scene, but it's quite hilarious and quite awesome, right? A great personality, and that's so true. He likes the pressure. He likes to be feisty, personality-wise and on the pitch, as that was him just causing all sorts of chaos on the defensive quarter for OC Eagles and didn't really allow them to do much. So we'll see how they're able to maybe build a game around this. They still have 2 minutes left, just down by 1. And a demo from G-Man will try and limit Columbia College's time here on the offensive side of the ball, as Cosmic Flippy is actually beat to it here. It's back the other way. Chicken. Now we'll push out to Chili. He's got the box. Good pass, but it eludes the target there as they're a little bit too far forward and pressed up, and the pass couldn't find them.
Yeah, and yet the attack continues. There's actually a free net, and it's going to be dimed immediately. Top 90 and in. G-Man will be able to find this position. Chili with the immediate takeaway, and G-Man was just above him telling, hey, let me take it. I've got a shot online. There is no defender, and the chicken chili combo, I've never had that myself. I'm more of a beef chili kind of guy, but that plus G-Man is starting to look like a great favorite here on this Friday night.
Chicken chili, great combo. Especially when you got a pinch like that, making it spicy up in there. The OC Eagles really showing themselves against this established Columbia College team. But, I mean, there's a reason why you get to the top level, right? OC Eagles, Chili and Chicken, those aren't two names that you constantly go for or see on a regular basis in, amateur to bubble scene tournaments. And yet they still make a difference in every single match that they seem to be in this year. And it continues to be that way, too, as Columbia College has had all sorts of difficulty, trying to piece something together. And in fact, Cosmic Flippy struggling with this one too. Chicken allowed the chance to turn. Shot taken a little bit wide. And Cosmic Flippy tries to flip it out. But again, possession given up. And OC Eagles continue to force Columbia College right into their hands.
40 seconds. Looking for a double. Cosmic Flippy burns through all of their reserves to try and make that one work out. And now it's the Eagles that are just kind of existing on their back third. Very comfortable with this immediate passing to and fro one another as they try to transition over the midfield line. Cosmic Flippy looking to at least rally the troops before the inevitability of game number 2 rears its head, and they want to maybe force a miracle into some overtime. It doesn't seem like they're going to find it, but one thing that I'm going to be looking for from 1 to 2, did the Eagles give away most of their game plan, reveal too many cards too early, or is this going to be some consistency and creativity that we're going to find throughout this entire series? A big takeaway as they're going for the negative angle dunk as we hit 0-second time. That one hits the floor, and it's gonna be not KSU. This one's going over to OC Eagles as they take game number 1
against these teams that like to work in space, just so you can cut off that in time and perhaps move and work something offensively, because it just wasn't there in game 1. In fact, coming right back at you, Gusky's able to make a good save, and this will be up for Samba. He's currently rocking the Scarab with an incredible shark fin there. You gotta love some of the troll cars sometimes.
That's a land shark if I've ever seen one, but not quite the Ole Miss style. I just want to I want to post this up as well. Who's the better G out here? Is it G-Ski or G-Man? Because I think that we've been talking about chicken chili combos. I want to see who comes out as the bigger, better G, but because G-Man was able to find a clutch top 90 shot and now finding a bouncer right here. I think they're trying to prove their argument right now.
Yeah, exactly. They heard you, obviously. Came in the stream and said, we need to prove this once and for all. And put the Gus bus to shame here. Gusky's been a little bit silent. So we'll need to answer back. We said Columbia College, we're going to really judge this game, too, on whether or not they can really establish anything here. It'll be tough to reverse sweep against a team that's been there, done that. And right now, they don't do themselves many favors with dropping early, especially another ball that looked relatively free on the shot on the way in. This is a good opportunity to bounce back, but again, just read nicely on that play by Chicken, or G-Man rather, as Gusky going to get the demo on him, has had enough, a little bit frustrated, and Gusky with that pre-flip will get a couple of touches here to elude the defense, and Samba's going to settle it down for the rest of his team to follow suit.
Samba is living ball life right now, trying to just find a separate identity. If there's two balls on the field, maybe it will create a decoy for the Eagles to get confused with. But that's a massive clear. And Cosmic Flippy and the gang will be waiting on it, as that's going to be a nice save. But no, off of the demo that actually delayed them just enough to have Chicken get a free corner shot off of this one. If not for this demo, Gusky would have actually been in position.
Yeah, and you take yourself out of the play there. OC Eagles, they have been opportunists the entire time, and Columbia College has given them, bit by bit, and every single little mishap that happens, OC Eagles is all over it. And because of that, it's now, a little bit out of hand. Columbia College hasn't shown much in the goal department in game one, and it continues here, trying to make it a different story here. Cosmic Flippy presses the box, and he still can't jam one in, as they just seem to not be able to do anything at all in order to get it going. Ooh. Even that passing play got a shot off, but again, it's bounced high. Cosmic Flippy to the ceiling, tries to challenge the bounce. It's out, and Samba finally able to break through because OC Eagles were pushed out of position, but at least they'll cut the lead in half for now.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Chile. They actually had come from their back wall, and they had a free look at it. And that's why some of the what a saves are coming into the chat as well, and they're responding in kind. But this is feeling like deja vu, Bear. It was Eagles they were able to grab 2 in the beginning of game number 1. You had a soft response of that, of an extra goal, but we've not seen consistency. And I mean, Samba trying to live the meme, but right now it's about looking for some of that to be developed by the Cougars, and they've really established no control or hold on this series, at least to this point. And who knows, maybe they're trying to bait them for content. Look at that wonderful passing play, to and fro and across the stripes. But it's going to be Gusty that ultimately can't get it inside of the post. And Eagles on top of each other playing some bumper cars, be able to make this counterattack happen, but it will go neutral and it will go away.
Gusky right back on it too, but just so many times we see them toss away possession. But we saw the first sneak peek of Columbia College. We know that they like to pass, but so do the OC Eagles. Chile able to make them pay here, and just as quickly as they were able to cut the lead in half, OC Eagles back on top by 2.
We are reliving game number 1. Eagles get it the first couple. They establish a hard-pressing offensive that just really the Cougars are not ready for. They surrender 1, and they immediately get right back to work. This is looking so clinical right now by OC. They are taking Columbia College to class and maybe some remedial courses before the winter intersession does come up, and immediately challenges. Chicken was pressing in from the near side corner. And that one will move in as well as G-Man. Oh, looking for the pre-flip redirect because reasons? What the world are the Eagles doing? They're just trying everything out because the book is wide open. They're trying every play.
Yeah, when you're already establishing yourself as a true leader in this one, and there hasn't been many threats the other way, it allows you to get creative, right? We mentioned it a little bit earlier. In this case, they're trying to get back to work in the very fancy fashion. But look at that read. Is G-Man able to cut off Gusky? Thought he had an open lane, but it was taken away. Look out the other way. Chicken for reset. A little bit of help from G-Man. Back down the shot, but they can't convert. That's as close as you can with the OC Eagles. Again, with that creativity and just tapping and being fine-tuned and helping each other out every single time they have an opportunity.
You guys want to see the reborn moment of the Ringling brothers? Because this is a circus right now. Oh, nearly from the outside. Cosmic Flippy gets the tiniest piece of it so that G-Man wasn't able to get a fourth for the Eagles. And the Cougars looking very lost. Gusky will drop in, but it's looking more like a college drop out as they're unable to get anything going into the box. And with less than a minute to go, it's the Eagles that continue to press. They are completely disrespecting of this defense, because why need they be? They keep drawing up the plays, and I think they actually ran out of them. They're just kind of putting it in the grass saying, all right, that might work, and it continues to at least getting nearby as they look to press this offensive right back upfield. We're going to have less than a half minute to go.
Yeah, now there's an opportunity there. OC Eagles were off that play completely, and yet it didn't seem like there was a connection there available for Columbia College. They were there. They were in position, but the shot just wasn't on target, and that just shows you that, if you can execute in those finite moments where the other team is slacking, then you can definitely, do big things here at this level. But it just has not been there for Columbia College. And in these moments, you got to look for your leaders. You got to look for the ones that have been there, done that. If anybody can get them sparked up, it's Cosmic Flippy. So we need to see more out of him for sure. And that was an opportunity, but it still goes a little bit wide. And so nothing seems to be working for Columbia College, but credit the OC Eagles as Oklahoma Christian gets that 2 game. There hasn't been a whole lot of midfield pressure, and if Columbia College can be the first one to really establish that midfield play, they'll give themselves a decent shot. But other than that, they haven't shown me enough signs to believe that it's real.
I like that OC, they continue to change up the pace of play of how they want to go about it. They take some of that speed off the ball, and then they just kind of play for trickeration. Why not? And it's a wide open net to the left side of it before the defender starts coming back in from the opposite side post. That's just chicken. I think that Cosmic Flippy had to actually dodge a bump play by one of the Eagles' teammates, so they had to take a longer, wider route before they went back to the defensive box. So in the first 20 seconds, Eagles already established a third lead of the series.
And that's something that you can do whenever you trust your teammates to get out and play physical, and your communication is on point. Otherwise, you don't slow play that. You actually rush it because you think that somebody's there. But their defense on point again. The shot off the mark. Samba followed up by Gusky. But again, the defense comes large and through here for Oklahoma Christian. As again, Columbia College now knocking on the door. They haven't been able to throw anything through this door, though. And Cosmic Flippy will leave it, though. Samba to Gusky. Back down. Up top. Another touch. Cosmic Flippy. And there you go. There's the 1, 2, 3. And the rotation's on point. And instant. No hesitation. Columbia College has evened at 1.
It was at first a bit of confusion. Cosmic Flippy went for a control play to elevate the ball, and they didn't go for a direct shot because they wanted to get both of their teammates corralled back to the outsides of the defensive half for the Eagles. And I wondered, all right, is this going to develop into more? And it did. They were able to bait out the next 2 rotations by the Eagles, and then they just isolated the last man who had to be on the backboard for anything of a double touch, and that was a great pass thereafter. So now we go into the first tie that we've had since 0-0s of any of these games. And it's at the Eagles trying to respond. And they're, for the first time in the series, in uncharted waters, looking to reestablish their lead.
Backs semi against the wall here. That probably should have been a challenge by somebody, but I think Columbia College was back gathering boost after they had been stolen by the OC Eagles. So boost control really coming into play here as Columbia College had yet another opportunity that they won't be able to capitalize on. Not yet, though. Not until the demo comes through and Cosmic Flippy has an open net of their own. They're looking a lot like Oklahoma Christian did in those first 2 games, getting physical with it. And they'll take their first lead of the series? That's crazy to say.
That's wild. You wouldn't think that at this point in the series that we'd be saying this is the first time that we could get an edge over the Eagles. But hey, maybe so much of this was for content, and maybe it's just going to be a reversal. We'll see. Initially, takes 2 to be able to stop that first shot out of that first press from this newest kickoff. Less than 3 minutes to go. It is the Eagles that have been able to burn down the Cougars in their own back half. That's a big miss by Cosmic Flippy. A nice pass over to Chili, and they're trying for the bump onto the backboard as Chicken swept over. G-Man's going to keep this one on the forward edge of play, and they're going to have just a micro amount of time for that defensive rotation. Chili wants to keep this one upfield, and Eagles really are forcing Columbia College to go very lateral. Another back pass, and they went for the same shot 3 separate times, but they couldn't ever get it to be a dagger in the net.
Great play both ways. The offense of Oklahoma Christian for causing all sorts of chaos from Columbia's defense, but Columbia defense answered the bell there when they needed to most. When they first get a lead in this series, their defense needs to play even stronger than they have this entire series, and they did it. Gusky, first of all, avoiding that bump on the back wall earlier in that sequence, and then Samba able to follow suit with a great defensive play of his own to really keep things going. But they break down here as G-Man in transition able to just redirect that one thanks to Chili off that back wall, launched it downfield, and we are equalized at 2 with 2:03 left.
Sometimes you just need someone in a favorable position, be it just barely out-rotating you or otherwise, and putting a hand up. Hey, man, I'm kind of open. I'll figure it out, and they do. So, shot on target, tied at 2 with less than 2. Cougars trying to dodge the sweep. Big challenge out of Gusky, and that's going to be an immediate flip upfield by Cosmic Flippy. But they can't come away with ball or boost. Samba tries to keep it buried up in the corner, and Cosmic Flippy, they're just going for the challenge game. They're just flinging themselves at it, especially because they realize the field is kind of neutral, a little bit against them as they're trying to gather up from these big corner boosts. Gusky with a nice toss over to Samba, and they're going to work it lateral. Chili's upfield, and that's an upward passing play, trying to connect. It will come down from the ceiling, and that's a shot on target, a slow bouncer, but Cosmic comes up big.
Couple of times, couple of big saves from Cosmic Flippy there as he was backwards for the first one. So pretty underrated save there as it was over his shoulder. And then that reaction after avoiding the bump, he'll have to come up big again and does. He'll not only do that, but direct it nicely to Gusky. Samba needs to get back and does, but you can feel it. You can sense it. Oklahoma Christian and the Eagles really trying to break through here. And that one's left on the doorstep. Cosmic Flippy needs to turn. Great passing. And again, Samba had to be ready for it. Samba able to get to it. He'll look to settle it back down. It's up in the air. Cosmic Flippy flip reset. Faked and left for Samba. Creative play, but OC's all over it.
Samba had the third eye back there, recognizing that last pass was going to someone on the outside of the net, and so transitioning that upfield for the Cougars was really clutch. It was able to burn through some precious seconds, so we could actually be seeing our first overtime here in this game. Weird, crazy ping pong back passing, and it will take the defense to get back to it. G-Man with a nice toss, able to at least juke out one, trying for extra control, but it's tossed away. Cosmic Flippy over to Samba, and now Chicken to at least force them to toss it high. With 10 seconds approaching, Bear, the Eagles, they want to finish this in regulation time. Samba trying to at least ruin them in their axles and gone, but it will be a double commit. They get that pressure out, and now it's going to be neutral mid-ball play here at 0 second, looking for the pre-flip pass, but it was a bit too short for Cosmic to catch.
Yeah, there's a couple of things there. Cosmic Flippy said, hey, if I miss this one, whatever. It's going to hit the ground. I'll fake him out anyway. So he was very content to just allow it to hit the ground if he didn't make contact. And worst case scenario, you just put it in the back of the net. So either way, they'll settle down, but they have to get back to work here and try and hold this off. But again, the last goal, no, Cosmic again. You got to be kidding me. That's a couple of times. Oh, my. Good friend had to stay plugged in. I've been talking multiple times about how I'm eager to cast his games, and this is how he does me. Unfortunate there twice. He is unfortunately on the wrong end of those touches into the back of the net, and that one was a bit questionable. I know they wanted those back passes throughout the entirety of the match, but in that case, that probably wasn't the right time to do it.